Hello guys and welcome to Crypto Solutions, here to help you make the best decisions in cryptocurrency and in cryptocurrency technical analysis. In today's Bitcoin technical analysis YouTube video, I'm going to be talking about why is the Bitcoin price will not go to $100,000 by next month, and why the Bitcoin bull market will not be over by the next month. I will be explaining in great detail why my reasonings for the Bitcoin bull market extending this cycle because of previous cycles, which there's evidence that the cycles clearly shown that it extends through each cycle. I'm going to explain why. So starting out, I want to start out with the first Bitcoin cycle. This one, the Bitcoin halving is not included. So right here, you can see that this orange vertical line, this represents the Bitcoin top during the cycle, and this vertical green line represents the Bitcoin halving. So going to the 2010 to 2011 Bitcoin cycle, which I included that because clearly the Bitcoin price during those years it behaves exactly like a normal cycle, from this cycle to the last cycle and the cycle before the last cycle. So right now you can see that the Bitcoin price was following this pattern. You see right here, huge pullback, slowly but surely increasing. After the Bitcoin price increases, breaking its previous all-time high, you can see that the Bitcoin price, after that happens, retests this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement, and after that the Bitcoin price starts going to an upside and starts breaking new all-time highs very quickly. Like you can see right there, this price action lasted from 2010 to 2011, and you can see right here, as soon as the Bitcoin price touched the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve line, the Bitcoin price retraced and made a huge pullback. And that was the end of that cycle from 2010 to 2011. And right now, this is the second cycle for the Bitcoin price, but this one, the Bitcoin halving, is included in this Bitcoin cycle, as you can see right here. The first Bitcoin halving occurred here on the on November 26, 2012. That was the first Bitcoin halving, and you can see that after the Bitcoin price made its previous all new time highs, the Bitcoin price retraced to where? To the bottom of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve. And as you can see, the Bitcoin price had a pullback, slowly but surely started increasing in its price. As soon as the Bitcoin price broke its new all-time highs, the Bitcoin price went parabolic, like really parabolic. And this cycle is from 2011 to 2013. And you can see that as soon as the Bitcoin price made this savage vertical price action, the Bitcoin price had a 80% pullback to where? To this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement, which is known as a very important Fibonacci retracement, because after the Bitcoin price breaks its new all-time high, the Bitcoin price almost every time comes back to retest that as support, and after that the Bitcoin price can keep going forward as the previous cycle, as I shown before here. Boom, it broke the new all-time high, retest where? On the 1.620 Fibonacci retracement, and continue to the upside. This was a 1 year difference. Here you can see that the same thing happened right here. The difference was that this price action was even more vertical than before, and the pullback was almost guaranteed to happen because of the massive increase in the Bitcoin price. Look at that. From the previous all-time high, it increased by almost 800%. So huge pullback was coming. And then the pullback was around 80% in just less than a month. But remember, 800% increase in the Bitcoin price, so it was normal for a pullback. But where did the pullback ended? Exactly here at the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. And after that, the Bitcoin price, after a savage pumpage to the upside, started consolidating and then going upwards. And you can see that the consolidation wasn't in just 1 month. This was from April to where? To November. And after that, the Bitcoin price broke the previous all-time high from here and then continued to go to the upside to where exactly at the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve as shown before. That's 2 times. No, 2 times. Look at that. As soon as the Bitcoin price touched this top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, pullback. And here, what happened also? As soon as the Bitcoin price reached the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, pullback to where? To the bottom of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve. And yeah, so you clearly see that this Bitcoin logarithmic curve is a very important indicator in regards of determining the Bitcoin tops and the Bitcoin bottoms. It's very, very important and very accurate. And after that Bitcoin cycle, what happened? It bottomed out around here, around the $161 price level. And here, a little bit of a long bear market, but you can see right here, next Bitcoin cycle, which will be the third Bitcoin cycle, but this third Bitcoin cycle will have the second Bitcoin halving, which occurred on July 4, 2016. So you can see right here that this cycle lasted from 2013 to 2017. That's an increase of 4 years. You can see it. 2010 to 2011, 1 year. 2011 to 2013, 2 years. 2013 to 2017, 4 years. And as you can see, the Bitcoin price, as soon as it touched the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve, had a pullback to where? To the bottom of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve. And as you can see right here, after the Bitcoin price bottomed out from here, started slowly but surely going up, and after it managed to break its previous new all-time high, it then started going to the upside, as you can see right there, and then had a pullback to where? To this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. Like I told you guys, this Bitcoin extension Fibonacci retracement, that is the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement, is a very, very important support in regards of continuing the Bitcoin bull market. As soon as the Bitcoin price can manage to have a pullback and turn this 1.618 Fibonacci retracement as support, it then confirms the extension of the bull market for the Bitcoin price. And as you can see right there, Bitcoin price, as soon as the 1.620 Fibonacci retracement was turning to strong support, it then started going to the upside again and then topped out where? At the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve here. That's 3 times that this Bitcoin logarithmic curve has caught the top without fail. And then what happened after the Bitcoin price topped out around here? Huge pullback to where? To this bottom of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve. Like, it's very predictable using this method right now. And as you can see right here, this is the 2017 to 2021 Bitcoin bull market. And logically, if you take from the first cycle, how long is the Bitcoin cycle lasting each cycle? First Bitcoin cycle was from 2010 to 2011. That's 1 year of a difference for the first Bitcoin cycle. Going here from the 2011 to the 2013 second cycle for the Bitcoin price, what's the difference? 2 years difference. Going to the third cycle of the Bitcoin price, what happened? From 2013 to 2017, there's a 4-year difference. And right now, logically, if the last 3 cycles, the amount of time in regards for the Bitcoin price to top out keeps increasing, logically, would you expect from this 2017 to 2021 to be the truly end of the bull market? In my opinion, using the previous historical data, not only my opinion, but using previous historical data, it shows that at least the Bitcoin price is increasing in regards of the Bitcoin length cycle by 1 to 2 years. So it would be fair to say that this Bitcoin cycle can end up being from 2017 to 2022, at least 1 year, and maybe even 2023. But I think that the Bitcoin price will most likely top out around 2022. Because of this, I'm gonna show you again. After the Bitcoin price, using this Bitcoin cycle from 2017 to the current price action for the Bitcoin price 2021, this is for the moment. Like, this can extend easily. That's why I'm saying that 2021, I think that will not be the top of the bull market. It will most likely be by next year, and I'm going to show you why. So yeah, after the Bitcoin price topped out at the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve, what did the Bitcoin price do? Had a pullback to where? To the bottom of this Bitcoin logarithmic curve. And what happened after that? Then the Bitcoin price started increasing slowly but surely. This wasn't a slow increase. This was a fast increase, but you can see that because of the fast increase, they had to add a huge pullback really quick to where? To the bottom of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, and then it started increasing. And what happened? This huge pullback was caused because of a world event, because of the C dump. I don't want to say the name because of YouTube not liking saying the you know, the cough, the over dramatic cough. But you know what I mean. So that's, I don't count that as normal price action because it was a world event that happened last year. So as soon as the Bitcoin price had this huge dump, it immediately had a V-shaped recovery to where? To this bottom of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve. And what did the Bitcoin price start doing after that? It's starting increasing slowly but surely to the upside and breaking new all-time highs from the $20,000 range. And you can see that as soon as the Bitcoin price broke the previous or new all-time high, the Bitcoin price increased, then had a pullback to where? To the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. And after that, historically, the Bitcoin price had to keep increasing and then keep up this price action. But that didn't happen. What happened was Bitcoin price was here, topped out around this range, and had a huge pullback. Why did that happen? Well, first, you can see this vertical price action before even breaking the new all-time highs. Because if you compare the price action from the previous cycles, the Bitcoin price wasn't doing this like this. It was doing this like increase, pullback, increase, pullback, increase, pullback, increase, pullback. And the same for the other cycles. Before the Bitcoin price ended up breaking the new all-time highs, the Bitcoin price had some pullbacks along the way before breaking new all-time highs. That's why when the Bitcoin price saw this vertical price action, it had to pull back. It just, this is too vertical, too much. So it was normal for the Bitcoin price to have this huge pullback, but where did it end it? Again, in the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement. And this cycle looks a lot to the 2012 to 2013 Bitcoin cycle. Why? Because of this. I'm gonna show you real quick right here. So here, you can see that the Bitcoin price found support here and then kept increasing after converting the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement support, and then it keep increasing. But what happened again? Another pullback, second pullback, and then consolidation for at least 6 months, and then continuation to the upside. And you can see right here that from this Bitcoin cycle, the 2017 to the 2021 Bitcoin cycle, almost the same thing is happening. The Bitcoin price increased, had converted the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement as support, and after that it kept increasing and then had another pullback to where? To the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement, and that was caused because of the vertical price action. The Bitcoin price was going too vertical without taking a break, and that's what happens when the Bitcoin price goes vertical. It has to have a pullback, because as much of a vertical price action, there's as much of a pullback, but not more than the previous increase in the Bitcoin price. Here, there was a lot of bearish divergences. If you go to the RSI right here, look at that. Bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence, bearish divergence. That's why the Bitcoin price had a huge pullback. That's why the Bitcoin price had a huge pullback, because of the bearish divergences. You see right here, the momentum in the RSI is going lower while the Bitcoin price was heading higher, and then it had to do the pullback. It had to, in order to continue this Bitcoin bull cycle. Because imagine if the Bitcoin price would manage to keep that same price action to the upside, then the Bitcoin price will most likely top out at the $120,000 range. But when the Bitcoin price has time to consolidate in middle of the bull market, that means the top of the bull market will be more higher. Why? Because you can see that this top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve keeps increasing while the time passes. So that means that right now the Bitcoin price, if it were to go straight like this to the upside, then the top of the bull market will be around the $160,000 level. You see that the longer the Bitcoin price takes to reach the top of the cycle in the middle of the bull run, it will most likely increase the top of the bull market by a lot, compared to if the Bitcoin price wouldn't have this pullback but just went straight up like this. The Bitcoin bull market would end it around this $120,000 range. But because of this pullback, now the Bitcoin price can have a higher price target for the end of the bull cycle, like this. Boom, 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 and here, $160,000 Bitcoin. But look at the price. Look at the date in which the Bitcoin price can do that. If the Bitcoin price will follow this pattern as I'm drawing right now, will be around April to next year. So right now, there are people saying the Bitcoin cycle will end by next month, and clearly, just I respect that the opinion of the people that think that, but using historical data, it suggests that, okay, I'm gonna put the vertical line here from today's date to the next month, by the end of next month. Okay, so now this is September 13, 2021 here. Not today, but this weekly candle here. I'm gonna pull another vertical line to the end of October. Would be the November 1st here. Look at this. Do you think the Bitcoin price will manage in less than a month to start heading like this vertical price action like this, and then end up topping out at $130,000 by November 1st? That doesn't make much sense if you compare it to previous Bitcoin cycles. That's not how Bitcoin usually works. The Bitcoin price has increase in the price, pullbacks. Like, you see these lines over here? Those has to be converted into support before the Bitcoin price can keep going upward. So it doesn't make much sense if the Bitcoin price just ignores this line, ignores this future resistance, and just keeps going like this and this, ignore. That doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I understand the Bitcoin price in regards of also the amount of increase in its price that it can do in a very short time period. But that doesn't mean that these huge future resistances are gonna be ignored just because someone thinks that in less than a month the Bitcoin price has to top out, just because there's not much time. The Bitcoin price doesn't care about that. Clearly, there's an extension in the Bitcoin cycles, like I showed before, and also just because someone thinks that it has to do an increase so drastically in less than a month, when the Bitcoin price hasn't even broke its previous new all-time high. Like, this is huge resistance. The previous new all-time high, that's huge resistance. The Bitcoin price has to break the new all-time high, confirm it as support. That takes time. Like, you don't ignore this huge resistance like this and just go upwards like that. It's just, that doesn't work like that. That doesn't work like that. That's huge resistance. Huge resistance. It's just, Bitcoin price will most likely do this. Break resistance, support, maybe do this drastic increase in price, support, and then start heading higher like this. This is a more realistic scenario for the Bitcoin price. And when you see the date ending, where does it end? Around January of next year. You can see it here. That will be January 17. And the price target will be around the $148,000 level of the Bitcoin price. So I'm going to run it up to $150,000 price for the Bitcoin price. That's a more realistic scenario. It's just, this is too drastic. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. No, just no. There's not even enough sentiment in the market to cause that type of price action. And I also understand that the Bitcoin sentiment price, the Bitcoin sentiment can change it really quick in just 2 days. Like I seen it before, but not enough. That's not enough to justify the Bitcoin price. Just ignoring previous or new time high resistance and this future Bitcoin logarithmic curve lines as resistance. Just ignore it like that and just go to the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve like that and just ignore this. No, that doesn't work like that. That's not realistic. That's mostly fairy tale price action. Okay. Remember, Bitcoin YouTubers most of the times receive a lot of views when their bias is in regards of putting these high price targets without justifying the reason why with accurate information, like enough accurate information. Because remember, really bullish news, really bullish price predictions for the Bitcoin price drives the views. And if you're claiming that the Bitcoin price is gonna do those price targets, you have to consist and maintain that price prediction. The higher the price prediction, the higher the views. It works like that. It is what it is, literally. But this is a realistic outcome for the Bitcoin price, like I mentioned here. Break of this huge resistance, support, break new all-time highs, like this, support, and then the Bitcoin price starts going parabolic, boom. And it can end up from the date I think the Bitcoin price will most likely top out will be around from December to next year, maximum, maybe even April, maybe. But that's my date range in regards for the Bitcoin price ending the bull market cycle for this 2017 to 2022 most likely. I think that the Bitcoin price will most likely end at the very end of this year or the next or at the start of next year. That's a more realistic outcome for the Bitcoin price, because it is what it is. That's the realistic price action for the Bitcoin price. And remember, the longer the Bitcoin price takes to consolidate, the higher it will go. So you can see if the Bitcoin price starts consolidating like this and then does this, the higher the price target for the Bitcoin bull market. That's the realistic outcome. Okay. That's why I say that most likely the Bitcoin price will top out around $150,000 to maybe even $200,000 maybe, but in order for the $200,000 price range for the Bitcoin price to be met, it will have to consolidate a lot more like this, and boom, end up here in the $200,000 range. But that will be around next year, around August to September, those ranges. So remember, guys, a lot in middle of a Bitcoin bull market, the longer the Bitcoin price can consolidate and keep going higher, the higher the price action for the Bitcoin price will be. And remember, if in the last 3 cycles the Bitcoin price has touched the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, and that indicates most likely a top, and it hasn't failed literally not once. So right now it's a guarantee. That doesn't mean it's going to be a guarantee forever, but in the meantime, if in 4 Bitcoin cycles, 3 of those Bitcoin cycles has topped out using this Bitcoin using the top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, then it will most likely top out around here. Okay, right now that's what's happening. And the very bullish scenario, which is almost non-existent in regards of the possibility, but in the probability, but and the most bullish price action I see that it can probably happen, not the most likely, but it can happen. Very low probability, but Bitcoin price after topping out here, breaking the resistance, confirming this is a funny, just keep going high, but that's that's just having fun also. Okay, if that happens, oh my gosh, it can be a fake out or even Bitcoin price can increase very drastically, but that scenario just that's not mostly going to happen, okay? And I also understand that there's deflation coming for the dollar, the US dollar. So just because there's deflation coming, that doesn't mean the Bitcoin price has to speed up its process, ignore the historical data, and just top out like this because of deflation coming. The Bitcoin price doesn't care about that. Okay, the Bitcoin price doesn't have to break history in the Bitcoin price to complete something in a very low time matter just because deflation is coming. That doesn't make sense. Okay, because Bitcoin price, like almost any price action, has pumps, pullbacks, and when the Bitcoin price starts going parabolic, that it doesn't have to have a pullback. That doesn't last a long time. That doesn't last months. That's like parabolic price actions without pullbacks doesn't end up being doesn't end up being a very long time period. Literally, just that lasts like less than a month. Like having really huge price actions without having pullbacks like this and this and this, boom, like this, that doesn't last very long, like less than a month. Eventually there's gonna be that huge pullback, but you can't depend that the Bitcoin price will just do that parabolic move starting from here. Not even like, if the scenario were to be that the Bitcoin price already broke the previous all new time high, and then you say that okay, now the parabolic price action can start, and when the parabolic price action starts, doesn't have to pull back as much because that's why it's on a parabolic move, doesn't have to pull back that much. But that sentiment doesn't last very long, lasts maybe 2 weeks and maximum even a month, but that's just being very that's just giving it too much opportunity. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. But if history is the most certainty in the future, if history can most likely confirm the future, not a guarantee, but if you have enough information, you can use it to your advantage to most likely predict the future. Not a guarantee 100% all the time, but you will have the most probability to anticipate and not get surprised, because if something happens 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna logically just say, okay, just because it didn't happen one time, now oh my gosh, there's a probability that just because it didn't happen one time, oh my gosh, that it can happen again. But if it happened 9 times out of 10, then just take logically, it will make a lot of sense to anticipate that it will most likely happen again. Okay, most things are governed like that. It's how life works. Just it's probabilities. It's not a guarantee, a perfect outcome all the time. But if you have enough information and you also stick by the most probable outcome, then that outcome would most likely happen almost all the time. It will be like every time, but not literally every time, but it will feel like it's almost it will feel like every time, but it's not literally, almost all. It's almost all the time. But yeah, so those are my reasonings for the Bitcoin price. So I see the Bitcoin price topping out around here, around $150,000 around January, from December to February. Those are the months I see the Bitcoin price topping out. And remember, as soon as the Bitcoin price touches this top of the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, pull back to where? Here, $42,000 range, $50,000 range, and that would be very another great time to buy Bitcoin. So remember, guys, this is what is most likely going to happen for the Bitcoin price using historical data. These are facts. And my opinions, most of the times I combine them with the facts, so my opinions are not mostly wrong. That's why I do it. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this long video, guys. This is a very detailed explanation for why the Bitcoin price was increasing in its price, why it had a pullback, and why the Bitcoin price will not top out around next month. It will most likely not top out for next month. Just there's no historical data to back up that type of claim. There's no reasoning, almost no reasoning why, literally. And also, I want to also include this very important thing that most crypto YouTubers are not including. I learned this by Waters Above Crypto. Shout out to him, because what I'm going to tell you is a very, very important thing in regards of almost any market, in regards of investing. So there's a Shemitah. Shemitah is the new Hebrew year. It happens every 7 years. And what happens every 7 years, if you subtract starting from this year backwards, you can see that almost every 7 years there's a massive worldwide event that causes the most stocks to have a huge pullback. Because the thing is, Shemitah is also part of a Bible verse where it says that a farmer has its crops, and after 6 years of working, and the 7th year, he uses that year to rest, and also the crops it will share them and leave it to the animals to eat. And also that Shemitah, there's also another significance for that. It is that all debt that the person has to be forgiven by the 7th year. Like if a person has debts with people, with different things for 6 years, on the 7th year, the person has to forgive that debt and just eliminate it, forgive that debt. And what happens is, in this monetary system, where almost the money system in the global world is mostly debt. So money can't be created if there's no debt. So literally, if a debt is forgiven, that means that the loan is not active. That causes deflation. And when deflation happens, most stocks just get wrecked in regards of having huge pullbacks and huge market crashes. And you can literally see almost every 7 years, you can subtract, starting from this year, subtract 7 years before, and you can see worldwide events happening literally exactly every 7 years. Not every 7 years, but almost every 7 years. There's the 9/11 incident, there's the 2008 market crash because of the housing crisis, the John F. Kennedy's assassination, the Richard Nixon event about the removing the gold standard. You can verify that one also, but also not. But the thing is, almost every 7 years, when the Shemitah comes, there's a very important historical event happening most of the times, which is most of the times planned. That's why it keeps happening. It's because it's planned most of the times. And during that year, use on New Hebrew year, they take that year off, and while the Jews are are taking that year off, almost every time there's a financial crisis, some economic event happening, and it's not a good event, it's a bad event. So right now the Shemitah started this month. Literally on the 7th of on September 7th. And the funny thing is that exactly at the 7th of September, which the Shemitah starts, is the same day the Bitcoin price pulled back. Oh my gosh, 80% in one day, less than 10 hours, literally. You can see it here. It was the 7th of September. It was such a ritual event, you know. But yeah, so in summary, when Shemitah happens, most stocks just get wrecked, and if stocks get wrecked, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency market is also going to follow that market, because the cryptocurrency market doesn't have enough market cap to follow its price action by its own. It still depends kind of the price action of the stocks, not as much as before, but by when the time keeps going forward, then the Bitcoin price will start to be more independent in regards of its price action, and not depending not as much to the stocks like the S&P 500, Nasdaq, a lot of stocks. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. It's a very long video, but it's a very important video. I explain in detail why my reasonings for the Bitcoin price not ending the next month. I explain why the Bitcoin bull market will not end during the next month. So yeah, the Bitcoin bull market will most likely end from December to February, maybe March, maybe April, maximum April, maximum, in using the historical data for the Bitcoin price. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Crypto Solutions. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can support my YouTube channel by going in the Patreon link in the description below, where there's a elite investor cryptocurrency membership, where I can help you invest in the market using previous price action in the Bitcoin price, like calling the tops, the bottoms for the Bitcoin price in the short term, and also calling the Bitcoin bottoms and tops for the Bitcoin price in the long term. Also, I can help you also redistribute your Bitcoin gains to the alt season, like they call it, because when the Bitcoin price increases, then the altcoins are not mostly increasing by a lot. Then when the Bitcoin price starts consolidating after a huge increase in its price, then money from the Bitcoin market cap starts going into the altcoins, and that's where the alt season starts. And I can help you determine when is the most timely manner to transfer your Bitcoin profits to the altcoin to the altcoins before they start increasing its price after the Bitcoin price has already increased in price and it's consolidating. I can help you with that also. But there's a lot of perks you can get there. You can go to my Patreon link in the description below. You can go into my Patreon link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Have a nice day, guys. Take care, guys, and peace out, guys.